Hi crafters, Karen here, and in today's video, it's all about another paper pad smash. For this month, I focused on the Hummingbird Flutters, a 6x6 paper pad by Not Too Shabby, and it is 24 double-sided designs, and you get 4 of each design. Now, I did use this paper pad in previous projects a while ago, and I still had several sheets left, and I thought, let's bring it out and let's just finish it. And that's exactly what I did. And with that paper pad, I also got the ephemera die cut pieces, and you'll see those in just a minute on the cards. But I was able to use up the rest of what I had in this pack. Now, I'm not sure if this paper pad is even still available. If it is, I will have that linked in the description box below. So whatever items I've used on my cards, if they are still available, I will definitely link all that in the description box so you can check them out. Now here I have, for the bulk of my cards, I was able to make 20 cards. And out of the 20, so there's 9 here. These 9 I pretty much just kind of put together on my own. I didn't follow any templates. I didn't use any card sketches or anything like that. I just, pretty much just kind of did my own thing. So here, now you're going to see a lot of the same sentiment, and that is because I'm trying to finish up making more cards for the Cards for Cubs organization that I take part in every March, and I'm going to need to be sending out my package in a couple of weeks. So I did use this Enjoy Every Moment. This is actually a sentiment stamp that I got from Tailored Expressions. I did take part in her virtual stamp Joy, which was 2 weekends ago. And I was able to, I just brought in her stamp set. I absolutely loved it. I thought this made for a nice encouragement sentiment. And you'll see other things that I used from the virtual stamp Joy. And there's that ephemera that I was telling you about. And here you have like that green kind of gem, glittery, sparkly pattern paper. And I just cut those down to 1/4 inch and put one on the top and the bottom. Here I had some scraps already, and I just had them cut them down to, I think that's that might be a 1.5 inch square, and then I just rounded the corners, and I did that on each of the squares. And again, brought in that same sentiment. And I love the pattern paper here. I love how it starts out in a nice dark color, and then it starts to fade out as it moves to the top. And on the flip side of this, the color is that really pretty green. This Wish Big is also from Tailored Expressions. This was actually from a stamp set that I got in last year's virtual stamp Joy. And I used that, put it on a 1.5 inch circle, brought in one of my Hummingbird ephemera pieces, and then here on this pattern paper, I just rounded the 2 bottom corners here and left the 2 top straight, and then just added a piece to go across horizontally. This card here, I had these tags already in the paper pad. I must have cut some extras out, and I just put them in the paper pad. So I thought that they would look really cute on, on the front of a card. I brought in a circle, and I ink blended that all in pink. Brought in another piece of the ephemera, and then I did use a piece of pattern paper to make the fishtail banner. And again, I used that Enjoy Every Moment. And I did bring in some eyelets to plug in those holes that were punched into the tags. Now, these next 5 are pretty much the same kind of layout, same template. They're either a landscape or portrait, depending on maybe the ephemera piece or just how I decided to lay it out. Now, what I did was I took a piece of cardstock and I ink blended it all in pink, and I have the Sweet Squares 2D embossing folder from Tailored Expressions. And I did have that for the virtual stamp joy, but I can't remember if that is actually available for, for the public. I know that she reserves some products just for the virtual stamp joy participants, and some she brings back for others to shop for, and then some she just strictly keeps it for the participants of the virtual stamp joy. So brought in that ephemera piece, and then again used that same sentiment, enjoy every moment, and then I made it a double fishtail. Same kind of thing. This is landscape. I used the same embossing folder, used a different sentiment, wishing you a colorful day, brought in the ephemera. And then here I have the hummingbird with the pretty flowers. And then again, the same sentiment, the same ink blending, and the same embossing folder. Now this one's a little bit different. What I did was I was trying to pick up both the pinks and the greens in that pattern paper. So I ink blended pink and green together, and when they met, it made this really pretty pale orange color. And then I already had this sentiment in my stash left over from a previous project. I actually used these on a sheet load. I believe it was a sheet load rewind from last month from Call Me Crafty L. So I had this extra left over, and I thought I would just bring it in and use it. So again, this is now the portrait. So two of the portraits, and then here again the same sentiment. That butterfly is also from that same virtual stamp joy stamp set. And then I brought in some of the green glitter cardstock that I had in my stash to try to pick up some of the green that you see in the pattern paper. And that takes care of the first 9. Now I'm going to move into the sheet loads. And here I have the no particular order. I brought in the February 2022 sheet load, and I pretty much copied the template as is. And now I was getting down to, the scraps, and of course this template is great for using up your scraps. So all these cards here, these 6 cards, are the same. I didn't alternate any of the strips. I laid them out all the same. And then I just added the ephemera and kept the sentiment of enjoy every moment. A pretty hummingbird. More of those pretty flowers. If you know what these flowers are, let me know in the comments, because I think they're so pretty, but I don't know what the names of them are. And then again, another hummingbird, same sentiment. So some came in different sizes, some were smaller, some were larger. And then again, that same hummingbird. And that is the February 2022 sheet load. And then I used the November 2020 sheet load, and I pretty much did the same template. I didn't add the gems, and instead of coming up with a circle, I used my ephemera to replace that circle. And then I just added my sentiment up at the top. And this I had already had in my stash, and I knew I wanted an encouragement sentiment, so I just looked to see what I had, and I ended up having one that was stamped in pink, so that worked out perfect. And then last but certainly not least, I brought in the April 2022 sheet load, and this is the mini slimline template. Now, what I liked about this template in particular is I was down to my last 4 sheets, and this called for actually 2 sheets, I believe. It was either 2 or 4. And there's no scraps whatsoever left when you cut the paper down to make this template. So that was perfect. So I have 2 with the polka dots, and then I have 2 with the hummingbirds and flowers. So basically what I did was I brought in an I Believe in You sentiment. This is actually from scrapbook.com. This set of leaves is a die set that came from a stamp set that, or excuse me, a die set that we got in Virtual Stamp Joy. And basically all I did is I cut this out in my Big Shot. I kept it in the negative, and then I took my VersaFine Clair green grass ink and I just stamped over it. And then I brought in my clear embossing powder, and I used my heating tool to get that on there because I really wanted it to have a nice pretty shine. And you can see that right there. And that's those two. And then these are just the reverse, where the polka dot ends up being on the top, and then the hummingbirds and the flowers are inside. And the same kind of thing. And that wraps up another video of my paper pad smash, and I hope that it has inspired you to go in and tackle your paper pads that you have, that you might have had for a while, or maybe even just got recently. And until my next video, friends, I hope your day is a crafty day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.